Once upon a time, when I was but a wee one in a car with Noelle.
A couple of wee-wees.
A couple of wee-wees, you could say. We were driving to the Caribou, and we saw upon the ground
the most cursed image of all time.
Truly it was cursed. The face of a moon, 2 butt cheeks pointing skyward, completely exposed.
And where was the man attached to the butt cheeks, my friend?
Underneath his vehicle.
What was he doing beneath his vehicle?
His dick was assuredly pressed into the cold, hard concrete.
Ah, but it was a hot day.
You're right, my friend. It was hot concrete.
It was burning.
Pray tell, why would he do such a thing?
It was a fetish.
We can only assume he was having the time of his wretched life.
Science does tell us that when all other possibilities have been determined false, the whatever remains, no matter how unlikely, must be true.
Must be a fetish.
It was a fetish.
This is a cursed story.
This is cursed. Let's play D&D. Hi, I'm Kat. I'm your DM.
I'm Caitlin. I play Corbin. He's a druid. Level 4.
He's level 5.
He's level 5.
Hello, I am Sophia. I play Leica, a tiefling paladin, level 5.
Hello, I'm Noelle and I play Fran. And I've seen cursed images and I've not recovered. But I am at level 5 and I am a wizard.
I thought you were at level 14, Fran.
I lost several levels and my life when I laid eyes on the butt cheeks of the man in the Caribou parking lot.
Caribou is a coffee shop for those who don't know. Not that it matters.
All right, so last time, you guys left the Oasis Market and were quickly ambushed by a half-buried Dracolich in the deserts outside of the Oasis Market. After that, you took a little rest, and then you arrived in Danmar. Then this is the first city you guys have been to on the world below. And that is where the scholars from Madria, Shaw's colleagues, are currently working. And you are going to be delivering the Estrin books to them. And that's where we are now. So the 4 professors have come into the lobby. There is a high elf woman, 2 humans, a man and a woman, and a female gnome. And the high elf woman, as she hears you guys talking, she says, "Did Shaw send you?"
Does the high elf woman, is she wearing like a robe with like a bunch of weed symbols on it? Or like maybe like a really big bong in her hand?
Wait, hold on a second. Hey, so come here.
No, you're gonna hit me.
No, I'm not gonna kill you. Just lean close. Go fuck yourself.
I loved that joke, Sophie.
Thank you.
No, she is wearing what all of them are wearing, which is a red sash with the symbol of the University of Madria on it, which is what Shaw was wearing, so you recognize it. And when this woman speaks to you, she does speak to you in Ancient Common.
And what'd she say?
She said, "Did Shaw send you?"
He for sure did.
Fran dies laughing.
Everyone else looks very confused. Even the high elf woman, she kind of like cocks her head. Perchance it is a problem with yon translation that this jest 'tis simply not funny.
I don't think these guys are cool at all.
Yeah, I thought it was a great joke.
Thanks. These guys seem like a bunch of nerds.
They're definitely nerds.
So the high elf woman, as you guys are talking, she's looking like she's losing more and more of her confidence. Deflating. She sort of looks at the other professors who are, like, giving her some looks, and they're speaking, but you can't understand them. And finally she says, "By what way did you come to speak yon old tongue words?"
Corbin laughs super loud. He thinks that's the funniest, stupidest shit he's ever heard.
Like a 6 on her tongue.
Fran says, well, I was born and then, like, I learned how to talk. How did you learn to speak your tongue words, lady?
Many years did I study yon literature of the ancients. Wait, born? You were speaking ancient words?
Listen, we have books to deliver to you. They're outside the city, and our friend, she needs to come in so we can deliver these books. I'd rather do that before we get settled. That was our understanding with Shaw.
She turns around and she speaks with her associates. Seems to be filling them in. And the gnome woman, her eyes get huge. It's just like, kind of even uncomfortably large. Like she's looking at the four of you. And then she just runs. She's just out the door. She's just running.
Going to get those books. Nerd. Fucking nerds.
The human male goes after her.
Cute.
And the high elf woman says, my work friend.
Colleague.
My colleagues will fetch the books, and your colleague.
Friend.
And your friend. My nom est. It's,
What do you want to nom?
Namaste.
No, Amina. She points to herself. I am Amina Halimar Kayo of the University of Madria. And she bows to you. I am Professor Shaw's, he looks up things. I help him read.
Research?
Yes.
You can't read?
No, yes. I'm his research, helper?
Cool. I'm Fran.
I'm Danger.
That's Leica.
Danger.
That's Leica.
Very pleased to meet Danger Leica.
I'm Corbin. I'm a god.
She looks at you for a second, and then she laughs. She laughs. I see you have made one joke. Perchance we should retire to our tea land for some tea beverage.
Yay, Tea-Land!
I definitely thought you said D-Land.
I also thought you said D-Land.
Well, and that makes some sense. Her pronunciation is not very good. Clearly she is not as proficient in Ancient Common as Shaw was. We have many things we must speak of. This is my colleague, Professor Kalia Ross. She turns to the receptionist and says something to him, and he groans and and then he leaves the entryway. Mm-hmm. Says, "This way." And as you guys are being sort of ushered away, Amina looks and goes, "Oh, and who, your friend?"
This is our colleague, Mary.
Speak for yourself. She's my friend.
She's my friend too, but she's normal and not a god, really regular.
Yeah, I'm the only one who's a god.
Yep. Wait, no.
I'm also a god.
Oh yeah, Friend's a god too.
You have made many funny jokes. Alright, so Amina leads you all down a corridor that's lit with these torches that smell kind of...
Bad?
Not bad, sour. There's a very sour smell in the air, and you can tell it's coming from these torches.
Oh, it's a high elf, huh? It's token up.
Super dank.
Oh, geez.
But hey, Sophie, can you come here for just a second? Yeah. Hey, come here. Fuck you. And you're seated in this sitting room. There's a small sort of coffee table, a couple of these uncomfortable padded chairs, and an uncomfortable padded couch. There's a big painting of an old man with a really long beard wearing a blue sash.
Does it look like the person that the receptionist was drawing?
Yes, it does.
Uh-oh.
And that's hanging over a fireplace, which is lit, even though it is pretty warm in here.
Oh, it's lit in here.
So that is your source of light, along with a couple of candles that they light around the room.
Spooky in here.
So Amina sits down in one of the chairs. She says, I make sorry for the darkness. The University of Danmar is...
full of ghosts.
It's not good when held next to the University of Madria.
Oh, I get it. You're shit-talking the poor person's university.
No,
Yep.
they are not poor.
Highbrow, high elf.
They just don't invest in
Okay.
their university.
All right, yeah, because they can't afford to.
Danmar is the richest city on this giant.
I just came here. I think I know what is going on in the world.
Amina translates something to her colleague, and then she asks, what world your land is that you speak this way?
Estra. It's, I show them a minor illusion of the island.
Okay. So they just burst into excited conversation between themselves. And then Amina's face falls, and she says, Are you the only ones?
We sure hope not. We don't know.
Their excitement tones down a lot. And Amina puts her hands over her mouth and says, Oh, I am so sorry.
Oh.
We saw the shape fall from yon celestial...
The sky.
the sky and heard the ground shake. Forsooth you are from the fallen land. And, by the way, while you guys are talking about all of this, the goddess is doing her best to avoid eye contact.
Oh,
She seems embarrassed, uncomfortable, sad, like she doesn't... she's making herself as small as possible and standing behind you guys, like she doesn't want to engage with this.
Oh.
We wonder if you can tell us how your land fell?
Well, have you ever heard of someone called Torva?
Of course.
What do you think about that? What's your deal with Torva? And I stare at her.
She looks at her colleague and they discuss for a second, and they both sort of look like a little annoyed, I guess.
Oh, same.
Yeah. Us, who are not gods, do not have the privilege and thought of the doings of gods.
So do you hate this guy? You can tell us. We won't tell him.
Well, those who give praise to Torva are bad.
Who worships Torva? Is it a big population of people in this world?
Small, but significant.
Do you believe that gods are real? That's a weird question, but are they very present in your lives?
Not personally, but yes, they are real. Your land was made by a god.
Purportedly. Anyway, it was Torva's doing that knocked us out of the sky, so.
So she and her colleague, they discuss very hurriedly, very excitedly for a second. And then, perchance you could explain for those, and she points to herself and her colleague, who do you god?
We had a goddess.
Kai! I do not mean to interrupt, but it was Kai, correct?
Maybe. Can you tell us a little bit more about Kai?
Well, my study that I study is of those gods we do not have?
Like Sir Nunes?
Yes, Cernunnos. Cernunnos, Kai, Fenrir, Munin, Belias, Deceit. All of these gods are lost. We know very little of Kai, except that she brought Estra up and occupied Torva for the past 2,000 years.
Do you have Vioni?
Well, should you like to know of Vioni, you may visit her temple. Some still attend, but not many. She has been silent for many days, but longer?
Years?
Years.
So, Amina, one thing that we've noticed since we've been here is it doesn't seem like people know very much about magic.
Well, some study you call it magic?
Yeah, because that's what it's called.
I do thaumaturgy, and I make the flames rainbows.
Also, Corbin turns into, what's he gonna turn into?
Please make it a boar.
Yeah, Corbin turns into a boar, starts running around.
I think Corbin's always a boar.
Hey, you set that up! You set me up!
You son of a bitch.
So,
And I do a harmless shower of sparks from my hand as well. So as soon as she asks us about magic, we're all like,
all just doing it.
So the human woman, Kalia, she starts speaking. She's very excited, like asking you guys questions that you can't understand. Amina takes a minute to calm her down and then says, my colleague asks to know how long you have been blessed by, Kai, I guess it would be, for you.
I shake my head and I say, Fenrir.
Oh, many questions.
I say,
I'm a paladin of Fenrir, so...
Does Fenrir still live?
No. His divinity is in the goddess Kai, so I guess in some ways it is Kai. But the oath I made is to Fenrir specifically.
I was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
people got magic on Estra in all kinds of different ways. Like, I just studied. Is that the only way people have magic down here? Being blessed by a god?
Yes. A hero's power comes from the god that they give their life to, I guess.
So, is having magic, like, really uncommon?
Yes. No one has magic here.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
Oh.
Oh,
That's not relatable.
Amina says, Professor Ross has a question for you. And she looks at you, Fran.
Mm-hmm.
What are you?
Oh, very offended.
Apologies. I do not have many words to ask with, but...
That's fair. I'm a Genasi.
And she translates for her colleague, and her colleague looks even, like, more excited. And were there many Genasi?
I've been meaning to ask you about this, Kat. In my kind of estimation, I would assume, like, Fran doesn't know of any other water genasi.
No, you've heard that, like, there have been other Genasi, but from what you know, and obviously you don't know a ton, it happens occasionally, usually the product of a summoning mage that summons an elemental and falls in love with it, and then they make a baby.
Yep. So I tell her what I know about that. And I say, I'm once in a lifetime, baby.
Leica looks over at the goddess while they're talking about this.
She looks, kind of uncomfortable.
Was Kai seen as a power of good and Torva as evil then?
No. No gods are good or bad. Gods are what they were created to be. So, to call a god good, or to call a god bad, is to call the rain good or bad. To call the fire good or bad.
Well, I don't know about you, but I definitely called the fire bad after it burned all my feathers off in my childhood home.
Corbin, not this shit again.
What? That's my life, friend.
Also, Corbin wants to put his arm around the goddess because he feels bad.
Aww.
Gives her a little half hug.
She leans into Corbin a bit.
Aww. We heard that the world below was burned. That's what our world was told on Estra. What's happened? How are you guys still alive? We heard that the god destroyed this world.
That was not the first ending this world had. There have been 4 endings, but that one was most bad. Very most bad.
This is a very spooky story.
The setting is incredible.
Endings? What do you mean by endings?
When gods fight.
War.
Yes, when gods make war. 4 times they have ended this world. But each time, some god saves their followers, and we rebuild. So, when the big bad that Torva made, when he killed Deceit, and the fires came, we rebuilt, as we always do.
Kat, can you remind me what Desert is the god of again?
Deceit is the flame.
Flame, okay.
But Ruva, the thunder, many years after, he made an end too. Not as bad an end. Did not take as long for us to come back, but it happened. It happens.
The world below seems really shitty, you guys.
The goddess kind of gives you a look, Fran.
Who protects you? Shouldn't there be some way to keep these gods in check? Are they always fighting and you're just ducking out of the way?
Some have fought for mortals, and when they win, it is good.
Who are the ones that fight for the mortals?
In the last end, Bruva was trapped and brought down by Rove and Laliana. Before, when Torva burned all, Deceit tried to protect mortals. And Belius tried to stop as well.
And Belius is the sword, right?
Yes, Belius is the sword.
Well, he would want mortals, because what else is he gonna do?
Yeah. Who else is gonna use a sword?
He's like a bear.
Yeah, dolphin.
Cute.
She takes a moment here and she says, perhaps you know little of other gods from living under Kai as your only person of worship, but here, gods fight, allegiances they make change, they do not see time as mortals do. And so we cannot know their goals or protect ourselves.
Leica just sits down. Sounds like garbage. I hate this world.
I say, well, as a god, I think that's bullshit.
I'm ready to kill all the other jerk gods.
You guys, I think we have a new quest. It's to kill all the gods except for the goddess. She seems okay.
And me and Fran.
Yeah, and us, please.
Yeah, you guys will come in handy for killing all gods. I'm officially at war with every god.
So Amina translates, and Kalia looks like she's gonna say something else, but the door opens before she can. And the gnome and the human man have come back. They speak very hurriedly to their colleagues before leaving again. Then Amina stands up and says, your books have come. You are guests, but we have few hands. Will you help?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, you guys head back outside, and Nodona she's out there with the sled. However, the sled has been hooked up to 2 donkeys, and they clearly haven't had the greatest time dragging this thing over the paved streets, and they look pretty worn out. Nodona is standing by the sled with her arms crossed and looks very uncomfortable.
I gesture to the goddess to check in with her.
Yeah. Okay. So the goddess goes and she asks, "Are you okay?" And Nodona signs back, "Me, city, not used in." You hear Amina speaking to the gnome woman who she calls Dalidanya, and you hear her call the human man Samuel. So Dalidanya is she keeps grabbing books off of the sled, but she seems to not be able to decide which ones she's gonna grab. So she grabs one and then runs around to the other side and grabs another and runs around again and starts climbing up the stack of books and is pulling them down and taking her robes and sort of making a basket out of her robes.
I need to go get my books.
Yes, you should, because Dalidanya is just stuffing as many books into her robe.
Oh, no. I'm hey, lady, back off my books. And I go over there and I start picking up my own books.
Right.
And I'm making furious eye contact with her.
So actually, as you're picking up a book, Dalidanya reaches for the same book at the same time, and you both grab it. I'm going to have a strength contest.
Oh my god, this is just like suburban moms on Black Friday.
So that's a 14.
Oh, wow. That is this is a 12, so you just you rip it out of her tiny gnome hand.
Not today.
Yikes.
Cute.
So I tell Amina to tell this gnome lady that some of these books are mine and they're not to be taken.
Okay. Dalidanya looks a little bit disappointed after this has been translated, but goes back to the other books that she can grab.
I point to my eyes and I point at her.
So you guys help unload these books into the library, and Amina explains to you guys that they'll be here for a little while in Danmar, but that Dalidanya and Samuel had explained the books will be going to Madria ultimately. And Amina tells you guys that this is a good thing because the library here at Danmar is garbage.
That makes sense.
Nodona is trying to get the doggies to turn the sled around. And Amina says, "You all are welcome to the accommodations of what little accommodations the University of Danmar can offer."
These people seem real bitter.
You are welcome to stay here. Well, where are you going?
So let's just check in about our goals here, because we're going to need to ask them where a bunch of stuff is.
Yes, so you have reached the city of Danmar. From here, in order to fulfill your deal with Dawson, you either go to Fang Lake or the Long Castle to get the artifact there to trade to Dawson for the location of the Tower of Wavel. If you are able to reach the Tower of Wavel, the god will grant you the gift of language. So you'll be able to bypass the months or years it would take you in order to learn modern common. Mm-hmm. Your other goal is to make it to the mountain range known as Torva's Jaw, where Torva has some sort of lair where he is keeping the shapeshifter form, which Vioni wants you to free for her, and a cloak which hides divinity.
Okay, so I ask them, do you have a map of this area?
Oh, Amina, she sighed. Well, the University of Danmar has no good maps on paper.
Jeez Louise.
However, they have best I show.
All right, cool.
So you guys follow her, and she leads you down that dark corridor.
I'm carrying all my books.
Yeah, and Fran is now possessively holding her books.
I help carry some.
Oh, thank you.
So Amina leads you to the end of that corridor that you had walked down, and it ends in a large, dark library. There are more of these sour-smelling torches.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky dark library. There are shelves here that they're not much taller than you, Laika, and all of them are stuffed very haphazardly with scrolls and leather-bound books, and nothing here seems to be in, like, super good order or repair. And Fran, like, you have the thing where you're able to find your way around a library,
yes,
right?
Mm-hmm. That's my special ability.
You have no idea how you would find anything in here.
Oh, man.
It is a goddamn mess.
This is upsetting to me.
And now you can see why perhaps these professors from Madria are a little snobby. But Amina leads you to the back of the library where there's a huge stone slab. And on this slab, there is a world map that has been carved into the stone. And she takes a piece of parchment from a roll that's attached to the table, and there's a little tray with pieces of graphite. She looks back at you all and says, I apologize. There is no dignity in this. And she hikes up her robes and climbs onto the stone slab. And you can see as she's like crawling across it, her robes are getting kind of dark with graphite. But she
all right.
So she has to like crawl to the center of this table and make a rubbing for you guys of the map of the area. And she gets off of the table and she looks super annoyed and she's dusting her robes off and she hands you a map showing this area. And I will show it to you now.
Wow, yes!
Listeners following along at home, the map will be posted on our Tumblr.
And Facebook, and Twitter, and Patreon, etc.
So, as you guys are looking at this map, she takes the piece of graphite and she writes on it. She says, we are here, the city of Danmar. And she writes Danmar on the map.
Do you know where the Long Castle is?
Oh, yes, that is to the east of here. And she marks it on the map. It is on an island in a bay to the east of where you are. Is that where you are going?
Maybe. Do you know where Fang Lake is?
Yes. Fang Lake is in Pogs Wood, north. Here, and she points to the mountain range to the north of where you are, is the Farah Mountains.
And what about Torva's Jaw?
She looks at you for a moment. I hope you do not intend to go there.
I smile really big.
Why?
It is a place of much danger. It is a layer of Torva, but it is here, and she points out in the eastern part of the mountains.
When you say lair of Torva, do you mean that's where he chills?
It may be a place that he has chilled. However, gods do not spend much time on our plane.
I think Torva is spending time on our plane, so that could be a trap.
If you are determined to go that way, I would suggest following the Pilgrim's Trail up to the Temple of Eol. From there, the attendants can give you directions.
Which magic artifact is where again?
So at the Long Castle, you were asked to retrieve the bracers of the bull.
Okay.
And at Fang Lake, you were asked to retrieve the Protector's Blade.
I think we should get the Protector's Blade.
I think it's
I think we should get whatever is closest to Torva's jaw.
it would be
well,
the
they're
Fang
both
Lake one.
kind of on the way.
But
Like,
if we
can
okay.
make a trip,
If
but
we
it
go
would
to the Temple of Eol, it would be the Fang Lake, because otherwise we'd be doing a zigzag.
Yeah.
This way it's like a clean arc.
might as well go Fang Lake, Temple of Eol, then Torva's Jaw.
And then we can come back down once we hit Torva's jaw, get that other artifact, keep it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Daniel.
Dope. Dawson.
Fuck
More like,
you, Danny.
Fuck you, Dennis.
Fuck you.
Devino.
Do you need other markings on your map?
So, will you just label, like, the major cities and, like, what this place is called so we can...
You would not know. This world, and she points to the larger stone map, is called Avelis.
Sorry for that reaction.
Hold on. I need to remember.
Oh my god.
Why? This large island is Roke. This world has 3 large islands. Roke, where we are, Borun to the west, and Vola to the south.
I don't know, does the goddess want to know anything?
The goddess she's been listening, and when you sort of turn to her to see if she wants to know anything, she shakes her head at first, and then asks, finally, you said that gods are what they are created to be. Do you know what Kai was created to be? And Amina shakes her head. No. That is the most fascinating thing of the study of Kai. We have so few stories. All stories we have relate to Torva and their fight. But Kai, what little we know, was human. So, what was she made to be? That is the question.
Hello and welcome to this. It's late at night because I forgot I had to do it. First of all, I would like to enthusiastically thank our new Patreon donors. That's Sarah, Jonathan, Kyle, Maddie, and Leanne, who upgraded her subscription. We actually hit our goal of $100 a month since last episode, and so we released a lore-based RP episode where I played Dessa, who is the daughter of Desset. It fills in some of the blanks of the time after Torva caused the end of the world. So if you're interested in that, it can be found at our Patreon for $3 a month if you want. Oh, it's late. Next, those sweet iTunes reviews, girl. Let's get into it. Okay, Matasaurus Rex said amazing and also said that they're a picky podcast listener. Oh, who likes their stuff? Thank you. Madeline4475, who is not the same person, said, loving this, and also said that this podcast was recommended to her by a friend, Ajay, or a name that's pronounced a different way. I knew a guy named AJ who spelled his name almost this exact same way. I'm not sure. Either way, dude, if you want to leave us a message somewhere, you can get entered in the contest. And if anyone else wants to get entered in the contest, The ways to do that are you get somebody else to listen, like the beautiful Madeline4475, and have them say, hey, I love this podcast. This is my favorite part. And guess what? My cool friend got me into it. And then that cool friend, boom, entered in the giveaway. The number one prize of which is some stuff from us. And also you get to make a character that's going to be in Arc 3. That's very cool. That's very cool. Also, if you donate on Patreon, which is maybe easier, but, and that contest, I don't have an exact date yet, but it's going to be over soon. We're recording tomorrow, and I'm thinking we're getting pretty close to the end of Arc 3 with our recording sessions. And at that point, we will choose the winner so that Kat can get to work with their character, putting it into the story. And now for a word from the lovely James Introcaso.
I'm James Introcaso, and I love tabletop role-playing games. I've got a new podcast called Tabletop Babble that talks RPG advice, interviews, reviews, and news with some of the top names in the industry. The conversation is casual, just like it would be if we were hanging out at a convention or local friendly game store. Get a new episode each week at don'tsplitthepodcastnetwork.com or wherever podcasts are available for free.
I also want to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Loot Crate. So for you guys, the listeners of Dames and Dragons, Loot Crate is offering an opportunity to save 10% on any new subscription at lootcrate.com. If you enter the promo code BRIDGE10, you will get those 10% savings. Loot Crate is a monthly mystery crate that delivers geek and gaming gear to your household. It's kind of like one of those makeup subscriptions, except for you get cool t-shirts and collectibles, tech gadgets, art, and other epic gear. So again, to save 10% on your new subscription, go to trylootcrate.com/DSPN to save 10% on any new subscriptions. Enter that promo code BRIDGE10 and you will save. And that's about it for me. But today's message to Chantel is Sam Grafton. We'll never know if the sleeper agent is active because Kat's not here, but we can hope and we can pray. Do-do-do.
After you guys have gotten the books off of the sled and into the library here at Danmar, and the professors are starting to set out, sort of sorting through what is what and figuring out what they have here, Amina says to you guys, it is, at the moment, not a good hour of voyages due to the heat of the orb that is in the sky.
Corbin laughs at her.
Yeah, so does Fran.
And she laughs too, just like she does not understand if she's made a joke, and she's just sort of laughing to laugh. You should explore the grounds of the stone encampment.
The city.
The city. Yes, you should explore the city while you have the opportunity. We will prepare horses and travel companions for your backs.
Is Nodona there still, or did she leave?
No, Nodona is there, and she's sort of very uncomfortable. She's incredibly uncomfortable, but she's helping the scholars get things sorted out.
Okay, so we'll come back and say goodbye to her after this?
Sure, yeah. The goddess volunteers to stay behind with them because they can sort of understand her sign language, and she can help them sort out like what the books are.
That's fair.
Okay, so if you would like to explore the city, I have like an encounters table made up, so you can roll a d20 to see what you find in the city. I'm going to put this out there.
Okay.
You can split up. I will not try to harm you if you split up.
Thank you, Kat. Yeah, let's split up and
run each down a different road.
we're just we're gonna meet back here in an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, so you'll split up. So roll a d20 and add your perception.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Whoa!
I got 17.
Okay.
I got 6.
Cool.
Fran is very distracted right now. It's a lot of water.
She just keeps coming back to the ocean.
Okay, yeah. So Leica and Corbin, you take off in different directions, but you end up in the same place, and you're walking down different streets and looking around, and like, oh, look at that guy. Oh, and Corbin's like, oh, look at all the crows. And so you guys just run smack into each other.
I look at Corbin and I say, same place.
Same place.
So as you guys are sort of sorting out, like, oh, we run into each other, ooh, you hear just this cacophonous screeching. And you turn and you see this big wooden structure with all these little square holes in it. And out of each of those holes, there's a hawk. And they're coming and going, except they've all stopped to scream at Corbin.
It's a rookery.
It's a rookery, you're right.
Can they understand anything from the hawks? Are they not intelligent enough?
The hawks are not intelligent enough to be making any sort of sense to you guys. You do get a very potent sense of enemy, is what they're screaming. Something that sort of invokes that sense.
At us?
Yeah, at Corbin specifically.
Oh.
These guys are jackasses no matter where you go.
They don't seem to like you much.
Yeah, I know. They're always trying to chase us out of the trees. They're just dicks.
Are you an egg stealer?
No, them.
So Corbin, you point up at the hawks saying they're egg stealers, and one of them hops off its perch and it dives at you.
Oh, I scream at it.
Does a 19 hit your
Oh,
AC?
Jesus. This is like a demon hawk.
Yeah, it dives down at you and it grabs your hair like with its talons.
Oh.
And it just sort of pulls at your hair and then flies past. You don't take any damage from it, but it hurts.
Scream at it again very angrily.
Yeah, and as you're screaming at it, another one dives off of its perch. Does a 15 hit?
God, yeah, barely.
Yeah, okay, this one, it actually, it goes for your boob window. And
My nip.
yeah, it scratches your nip with its talons.
No. I scream in pain.
And let's see, and then this one, it goes for your face. Both talons out, but then it takes a second and it dives up over you and it flies over a structure that's across the street. And you turn to look at that structure across the street and it's these ruins. It's a ruined stone building and there's nothing around it.
You guys better not go in there.
Let's go.
Let's go in.
Yeah, maybe there's eggs there. We can steal them.
So you guys head into this temple, and as you're going towards it, Corbin, more of these hawks are starting to dive toward you, but they won't cross the threshold of the building. So as soon as you are there, they start to just part and they fly around it. I keep calling it a building, but it's really very little more than a burnt out stone husk. Several of the walls have crumbled. There are columns on either side of the doorway, but one of the columns has fallen over and is making sort of a diagonal blockade in front of the door. When you walk inside, there is a burned altar, and you're starting to gather that it's a temple, and there's a symbol, a relief sculpture of a symbol, 3 crossed shovels in a field of red on the back wall. I'm going to have you roll religion checks, see if you know what it is.
Oh, jeez. I got a 14.
I've got a 5.
Okay, Corbin, you recognize it, though it seems a little different than what you remember from your teachings in the Crow Clan, but that is the symbol of Vioni.
Oh.
Let's investigate that.
16.
Wait, I did not get that much, so.
Okay. You don't find anything, but that is what is suspicious. And where you guys are standing now, there's nothing growing here. Like, you would expect from the relative age that you can kind of see from these ruins that maybe some sort of plant life would be here, or maybe some animal would have taken up residence, but there's nothing. And you feel like this is a temple. There should be something here. Even though it's been burned, there should be even just like a cup or a scrap of paper. There should be something, but there is nothing left in this temple. At some point, it was cleared out.
All right. I yell into the temple,
What's up, ghosts? If you can hear me, move a brick.
Nothing happens.
Damn. I am not paying attention because I failed my religion check, so I just think this is a cool place to do parkour, so I'm jumping off stuff.
Micah, this was a temple for Vioni.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do a backflip.
I'm gonna have you make an acrobatics check for that backflip.
Okay. Fail. Wait, can I do a cool dex save and like make it land cool at least?
Try.
Okay.
Do like the worm when you land.
Yeah. I failed.
Right, so you land flat on your back, and you are staring up at this relief carving of the symbol of Vioni that is above you, and the wall above you crumbles, and the symbol falls onto you, and you take 2 damage. It's not a ton of rubble. It hurts a bit, but you're able to push it off.
Bad omen.
Bad omen. I'm gonna open up my divine sense.
Yeah, good idea.
So, with your divine sense, it feels muddled. Like there is something very evil here, but something else is trying to get through.
What? Oh, because Torva's possessed.
So this place is desecrated then?
Yes, actually, yes, that is what you get the feeling of, is that this place has been desecrated.
Is there like a table for offerings or like a spot?
Yeah, there's a altar.
I will leave. What do I have that I could leave? Do I have any snacks on me?
You've got rations.
I'll leave a piece of my hair and
Bad idea.
All right, it's already happened.
This is perfect. I need a reason to like conform my current character design to exactly what Hannah Colbert drew because it's so much better than mine. So Corbin cuts all his hair off, and now he has a sweet like whatever Hannah's cool like short hair like wafted back, beautiful design is now what it looks like.
Wait, can Leica help style it?
Yeah, please help me style it.
Leica spits in both her hands and like slicks it back and is like, yeah, that's a cool look.
Thank you.
So you guys just leave a bunch of hair on the altar of Vioni.
Well, birds can make nests out
I
of
leave
it.
a significant amount of my hair.
The birds specifically don't go in there.
Maybe crows do.
Yeah, my brethren will be helped by our offering.
Well, actually, as you put all this hair on the altar, it turns to black ash.
Good omen.
I take some of the ash.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
There's nothing else here.
No.
We leave.
All right. Well, then we're going to go over to Fran. And Fran, what did you roll again?
6.
Cool. So, Fran, as you are wandering around the city, you hear all these hawks screeching. Mm-hmm. And you say to yourself, well, that sounds weird. And you walk the other way.
Yeah.
And as you're walking, you find yourself in that fancy district. And as you round a corner, you find yourself at a temple of a very different sort. This one has a huge statue of a woman standing above the doorway with her hands held out and water pouring out of each of her hands.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So there's these waterfalls that are falling on either side of the doorway, and people they're walking in as bells are tolling above the temple.
Okay, well then I'm gonna do what they're doing and go inside.
Okay. And inside, you see where all of the water from her hands is flowing to. It's flowing through these shallow canals which run throughout this temple. And there's another statue of the same woman up at the front of the temple. Only instead of a doorway between her hands, now there is an altar, which is heaped with gifts. There's money, there's food, clothing, there's flowers. There are notes that people have folded and set at the foot of this altar.
Are people noticing Fran's like literally a water woman?
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I will. That's a 7.
Okay. You don't notice anybody acting any differently towards you except for a few temple attendants. They are staring at you very intently.
Mm-hmm. Did you say there was altars?
There's an altar at the front of the temple.
Okay. So I go up there and I chop all my hair off.
How does that work?
I basically just like water bend it away from my head and like it just falls and is water.
So do you put it in a vessel of any kind, or are you
just over everybody's stuff?
there is an audible gasp from the temple, and then a lot of hushed whispers, but nobody says anything to you. No one interacts with you in any way.
Okay, so they just like look like, what do they look like? Scared or just like?
They look concerned.
Okay. So that's cool. So I just like shoot everybody finger guns and roll on out. Good. So I'm bald again now. I don't know. I'm not going to steal water from this. Actually, you know what? Okay, on my way out, I just like stick my head under that lady's hand. And when I pull my head out, what hairstyle should I have?
Buns.
2 buns?
Yeah.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, when I pull my head out, I have Sailor Moon style meatball buns.
Yeah.
Cute.
Meatball.
You have the ponytail, like,
Yeah.
coming down.
Oh yeah, the long
good.
ponies.
Good.
Love it. Love it. All right, so you guys, if you would like to roll again and see what else you can find in the city, you can. Otherwise, you can head back to the university to collect the goddess and whatever the professors have prepared for you.
Let's go back.
Yeah,
I feel like we should move on to our quest.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. So you guys, you meet back up at the university after your little time wandering around the city. And by the time you guys get back, it's late afternoon, or it's a little bit past late afternoon. The sun is starting to set. The hottest part of the day is past. And when you get back there are horses, 3 horses. Which, have you guys seen horses yet?
Only camels.
We've seen a donkey, so...
You've seen a donkey.
Yeah.
So this is...
Smooth donkey.
I know every animal we've ever seen. Also, I want to animal handle one of the horses. Oh, way above 20.
Okay, great. You're able to turn into a horse now. You understand how horses work. You even, from that, because you've got like way above a 20, you even are able to like stare into this creature's eyes and know its name.
What's his name?
So the horse that you have claimed, I guess, his name is The Rock.
Oh my god.
Yes, the horse it's light brown, incredibly muscular, strangely no mane, but a beautiful tail.
I love him. I pet his muzzle affectionately.
Yes. So as you are recovering from learning this horse, Amina comes out and says, you have found the noble beasts. And she points to Dwayne the Rock, the horse Johnson. This is Sugar Cube.
That's not his name.
She sort of looks at you and then just moves on. And this one is for you, Fran. Her name is Butterscotch. And then she points to the last horse and says, and for you, this one is Rochester. And Leica, you look at this horse, and this horse looks back at you. And you look at this horse, and this horse puts its head down and charges directly at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
I failed critically. I die. I've killed my horse.
Yeah, so this horse, it hits you straight on for, well, it only does 1 damage, but you are knocked prone. And Amina she's very confused. I do not know why it would react in such a way.
I'm gonna stand up.
It is a gentle, noble beast.
Does it hate wolves?
I'm sorry, I don't know that word.
Leica points to a drawing on her armor.
Big dogs.
It would not like predators. No, we can find you another mount should you need one.
I ride a No, I thought this was just a cool dude who's coming with us. I already have a mount. I don't need this.
Well, good. And the goddess comes out of the university now, and she comes down the steps, and she signs to you guys, oh, you found the big things.
This one's named Knucklefart. He's yours.
The goddess takes the horse's reins. So Amina says, now would be the ideal time to depart, for the day grows short, and the night will bring a coolness to your travels.
I love cool travels.
Fran, takes everybody's stuff and puts it on her horse.
Just everybody's?
Yeah.
So you guys you're packing up your stuff, and Fran loads up the things, and the 4 Madria scholars are out on the steps, and Nadona comes out behind them as well, although she stays a little bit behind them, sticking very close to the doorway of the university. And Mina says to you all, we all wish you the greatest of luck on your forthcoming adventures. When you find the city of Madria, please come see us, and we will tell you of what we have been able to learn from your generous donation. The goddess bows to Amina and signs thank you.
So I walk up to Nadona and I grab her aggressively by the back of the head and then softly touch my forehead to hers.
She seems very touched by this.
Aw, that's nice. And I wave.
Like a cries a single tear, because that's beautiful.
Yeah. Corbin tries to do the same thing, but his weak hands can barely grasp her thick, muscly neck.
Yeah, so when you try and do this to say thanks to her, she just headbutts you because she's expecting a lot more strength from you.
Yeah.
And you're not able to hold her back, which you kind of understand now why they do this in the way that they do, because what they're trying to do is hold each other back. And you just aren't able to do that, so she full-on headbutts you.
I give her a piece of my hair as a parting gift.
Why do you keep giving people your hair?
It's a good gift.
They need it.
Is the receptionist there?
No, he has not come out.
Before we leave, I go back to the receptionist, and I've drawn him on, like, a scrap of paper, like a leaf or something, a picture of that guy, like, farting a huge fart, and it says, like, nerd on it.
He laughs. He laughs.
I say goodbye, and I try to do the art goodbye to him with the heads.
Oh, he freaks out. He, like, scrambles away from you and gives you, like, a wave from afar.
Cool, I leave.
All right, are you guys ready to leave this this desert town behind?
Yeah. Let's go.
Won't Sophie have to like run behind us through the city because
I like it.
We're just walking. Like I'm walking beside my horse is covered in stuff.
I'm riding my horse.
All right, that's fine.
Oh,
I
actually,
slow.
yeah, I suppose you already.
I want to chase after your horse.
Okay, I gallop ahead. We're having fun, me and the Rock.
I chase after you because I don't understand what's happening, like a dog.
So the goddess gets on her horse and walks along beside you, Fran, like a normal human being.
Cool. Fran's getting very twitchy, by the way.
Why?
Oh, they planned something.
The goddess does not seem to notice.
Okay.
I want to roll.
You're not near me.
I'll roll when we're in the desert.
I'm gonna roll too.
Yeah. You guys are not anywhere near, so you don't.
Well, we're gonna wait for them to catch up.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll wait for them.
Well, actually, yeah, you have to wait because at the gate, heading back to where you left your wolves, there is a long line to get out of the city now.
So we're gonna get in line?
Yeah, you're in line to get out of the city.
So as we're waiting in line, Fran pulls out the bandolier that she and Corbin traded for that land shark bone,
yeah.
and she asks for the goddess's knife.
Oh, yeah. The goddess gives Fran her knife.
Okay, and then Fran starts cutting it apart, and she does not look great.
Wait, cutting the bandolier apart?
Yeah, because she's cutting it down the middle.
Oh, right.
As we said, so we can share it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she says, I know, I'm sorry we never got a chance to both wear this, like, at the same time, like that cool joke. But I guess this is the way it has to be. And she just, like, keeps cutting it.
What are you talking about?
Well, you have to take your part, and I'm going to take my part. And you guys have everything you need, right?
No, you're not leaving.
Oh!
No.
What? Well, of course, I told you this is my home with the fish.
Fran,
Fran, no, it's not happening.
Fran, I found a home here in a life of crime, and I'm putting that behind.
Me too.
I think, listen, it'd be really awkward if I just left all my new fish friends. Like, they would miss me a lot. They want to make me their president. So I think I have to stay.
Fran, they're fish. I can talk to animals, kind of.
You guys will be better off without me. It's fine.
I think you definitely have like the strongest spells of anybody on the team, so we're definitely going to die.
On. Like a Corbin and Mary, it's like a cool 70s band.
No.
Yeah, and Fran's the lead singer.
I'll cry.
You always cry.
I'll really do it this time.
The goddess actually, she waves for your silence, and she gets off her horse, and she signs that this actually brings up something I wanted to tell you all. I release you from my service.
Oh, that's cool. I'm still gonna work for you.
Yeah, Leica laughs. Like, she's just, like, laughing hysterically, and then she just, like, lays on the ground catatonic. She's not moving. She's having panic attacks.
I point at the goddess and I'm like, Mary, I feel like we really get each other.
The goddess, she helps you back up.
Leica goes limp and purposely refuses, and she's glaring at the goddess.
The goddess lets you fall back down, and she signs, there is no Estra. Your duty is fulfilled. I cannot ask you to continue to risk your lives for me.
Let me just explain. Estra has fallen. Everything I know and love is gone except for Gingy and you 3 huge nerds. So if you release me from your service and we all go our separate ways, I literally have no purpose in life and all my training goes out the window.
Ditto.
So that's not gonna happen.
As, like, Leica says this, Fran takes out Alonia's necklace. And she says, obviously not to the goddess, do you remember when we found this?
Yeah.
So those clothes were probably Cordelia's, right? It was in the waterfall cave?
Yeah, they smelled like bread mold.
Right. I've seen this necklace before. It belonged to my mentor, Alonia. And when I investigated the magic on it, it was meant to instill permanence. So I think it must have been what Torva used to keep the form of Cordelia. And I guess Alonia, too. I don't think either of you really knows what it means to be a water elemental separated from the planet by a couple miles of air. And I don't think anybody really got it. I thought that Alonia did. It's like there's always this open wound, and this whole time I was born to protect the place and protect the person who was doing this to me. But Alonia let me train in my own way. She gave me days off when I needed to just sit in the lake. And looking back, maybe it wasn't because she really understood. Maybe she just didn't want me to be ready when the time came. The last time we saw Cecilia, she said that we were good choices. And I don't see how they could have chosen someone worse to be a guardian than me. So
disagree.
Whatever we were chosen for, I don't think it was to stop any of this from happening. And I don't know how long Torva was my mentor. I don't know if he killed Alonia. I don't know if she ever even existed. And I don't know why he took an interest in me in particular. And neither do you.
So the goddess, she signs, I can't imagine how hard this has been for you. And she looks at Leica and Corbin and says, I can't imagine how hard this has been for all of you. And I don't blame you for wanting to leave. But I can say that if there is a meaning for all of what has happened to us, we will not find it by staying here.
Fran finishes cutting the bandolier.
If there's one thing I've learned from the wolves, it's that you always stay together. You always defend your pack.
Yeah, that's true for crows, too. You think one crow could chase off a giant hawk? No. It's gotta be 5, 6 crows, at least. Hawks are big.
It's a whole murder.
Yeah. And we're gonna murder the gods.
I put my hand in and I say,
Murder the gods.
I also put my hand in.
Except the goddess.
Except the goddess. Who's an honorary mortal.
yeah.
The goddess, she turns back to Fran and says, again, I will not ask you to come with us, but I will tell you that it would be nice to have friends in this strange world. And she puts her hand in then.
I'll just talk of friendship. Fran, she does not put her hand in, but she grabs all you guys in a group hug. and her eyes have been welling up with tears. And she says, "It's really hot out here. I'm sweating from my face."
Corbin also immediately bursts into tears because he's a sympathetic crier.
I knew you were gonna cry.
Leica also starts crying.
The goddess is also crying. Everybody's just crying. And then you hear people yelling from behind you, and you realize the line has moved forward quite a bit while you've been talking, and you guys have not moved with it.
I shake my fists at them, and then I move forward.
Yeah, we all go forward.
Yeah.
Nice one, Sophie.
Dang.
Guys, why are you laughing when I say a thing and then saying nice one, Sophia? I made a joke. I made it funny, damn it.
Nice one, Sophie.
Good job, Sophia!
None of you appreciate anything I do for you. Whatever, you guys go to a sitting room and you like sit down and stuff.
Hey everybody, it's Rudy Basso, the co-owner of Don't Split the Podcast Network. I would like to encourage you, lovely listener, to head on over to our website and give a listen to my show that I host with my brother called Game O'Clock. It is a video game retrospective, introspective, other spectives, all about the kind of games that we love. And to be honest, we love just about every game out there. Game O'Clock released every Thursday. It's fun, it's short, and hey, you'll probably learn something about video games.